Story number one here is Texas head football coach Steve Sarkisian states there's a quarterback battle between Quinn Ewers, pretty touted recruit, and Arch Manning, the touted recruit as well. So Arch Manning, 5-star, obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the class, going to be probably a freak of nature in college, I would imagine as well.
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers was a top recruit. What is that? 3 years ago now, transferred from Ohio State into Texas. Was really productive when he was healthy last year. When he got banged up a little bit, that's when production started to drop off a little bit. I don't have a good answer for this. I feel like when in doubt, always go with the young guy. That's just especially a guy who's probably ready, like an Arch Manning. Like you're not like, ooh yeah, kind of immature. Like no, it's like I feel like he there.
He was grown. He grew up in that pedigree of quarterbacks. He has. I feel like he would have more ability to talk to the media. I mean, we know what Eli's been able to do and how he's handled the media. And their personalities. They're just very groomed, perfectly groomed for the NFL. 100%. And they can lead a franchise. They're calm. They don't freak out. They're not going to be the guy that goes to the podium and says ridiculous shit like Baker does.
So, like a Baker, Johnny.
Exactly. You're not going to worry, is this guy a grown-up enough to lead a college franchise?
I think 100% he is.
Yeah.
I do feel bad a little bit for Quinn Ewers. He goes to Ohio State, probably was good enough to get some playing time, but he had Justin Fields ahead of him, right? C.J. Stroud was in the wings. Kyle McCord from St. Joe's, where we're familiar playing against St. Joe's, right? He was in the wings, right? So just not a lot of room for Quinn Ewers to actually get some playing time. Then he goes to Texas, plays really well, gets hurt. So it's like, and then if Arch Manning ends up winning this, then what's Quinn going to do? Probably transfer again.
You'd have to.
Do you want a second-time transfer? Not really.
No.
He's probably not going to go to a powerhouse. So it's like, I do feel bad for him. I hope he gets a shot. And if he does, if it's not at Texas, I hope somebody gives him a shot elsewhere. But either way, we're looking forward to that. Because
we'll keep an eye on it.
Because I think Texas is right there. Like I know Texas has quote-unquote been back for, 10 years now.
Well, and now they're about to enter the SEC.
Like, I think they're right there. Like, they played Bama. I mean, what? They lost Bama by what? 1? Like, 20-19?
Yeah.
Like, they played big boy defense against Bryce Young and Bama. So
now, I'm not sure how long Arch Manning will be at Texas, right? Because you have to
we have to be there for, 2 years minimum? Is that right? Yeah.
So, wait, that would put him to... No, he'll be there when they go to the SEC. Because they go to the SEC in 2025.
Yeah. So he'll play... He'll be the starter 2023, 2024.
And then 2024,
24, 25. I think it probably goes in, though, that 25, 26. Yeah.
So that
24, 25.
If he needs a third season, he'll play in the SEC. And I feel
either
like that's
way,
a good measuring stick, though.
Yeah,
for a team like Texas.
Either way, they've been kind of ramping up their schedule a little bit, playing more SEC teams out of conference. So,
yeah.
All right, story number 2 here. Tom Brady has denied rumors of returning, out of retirement. But multiple sources, The Athletic, I saw SportsCenter the other day, have claimed that they believe that he will once again unretire. We've seen names like the 49ers floated out there. We've seen Miami floated out there. And I did hear a good hypothetical. What if Tua hurts his head again? Realistically speaking, he goes out in the first 4 weeks of the year, gets another concussion. What do you do?
You better hope that free agent market is open.
You can't start him, right?
No, because that's what, 3?
So you can get a retired player at any time during the year, dude. Why don't you just go get Tom? It's week 5.
You think he would come out of retirement in week 5?
To go with that roster, I do think so.
To play in Miami if Tua goes down.
Yeah.
You don't think he does it and is okay sitting on the bench as a number 2? He comes in as a starter over Tua.
Tom's not coming back to sit on the bench.
Well, yeah. But you think he would come out of retirement halfway through the season-ish? Week 5, week 6?
To be Belichick twice? Probably. If they haven't played him twice already.
I don't know if I'd like that.
It's just interesting. I'm just saying. But either way...
Do you like that?
I think I like the Niners idea a lot better because I think his timeline lines up with the Niners timeline, right? So first of all, they have a win-now roster. So you got Trent Williams, George Kittle, Debo, right? Who knows, C-Mac, who knows how long these pieces are going to be healthy and still at their peak, right? A lot of them are aging, a lot of them are injury-prone, like a Debo, like a C-Mac, right? But also, you don't want to go sign a guy for a 5-year deal because you have these young quarterbacks, so you want to give them a shot eventually. So does Tom for a year work? I think so. 1 year. I'm saying 1 year does Tom work.
San Francisco.
100%. It's interesting.
I don't think
it'll happen.
I think it's so...
I don't think it'll happen, but it makes sense. And there's legitimate sources saying that they believe it's possible.
If there was a time to do it, he shouldn't have retired. He should have just gone there. I mean, everybody knew they were interested.
Yeah.
Everybody knew he wanted, like, everybody knows Tom would want to play for San Francisco. He grew up there.
I'm not saying I disagree. It's interesting, though, once you actually retire, how you actually feel, you know?
I don't know.
All right, story number 3 here. The New York Jets officials are officially flying to meet with Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers, who is still, of course, no pun intended, leaving the organization in the dark, and thank you. Come on, that was good.
The darkness retreat.
Either way, it's like...
That's what I want my franchise quarterback doing.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
So if you're the Jets, are you actively searching? Are you pushing for Rodgers? Is he your number one option? And what happens if you don't get him?
He has to be your number one option because who else are you going to roll with? What's your other option?
Zach Wilson.
I'm losing sleep. Like who? It's
I'm not
Aaron
saying
or nobody.
I like it.
It's Aaron or nobody right now. I don't think it's Jimmy G. It could be. And look, I don't even love Aaron, but like, let's be real here. I'm taking Aaron over Jimmy G. Like, let's not get crazy here. Yeah. And I like Jimmy.
Yeah.
I like Jimmy, but let's not get crazy.
I feel like if you're the Jets, you can't take a Jimmy G. It's either Aaron Rodgers or you go draft somebody.
I would honestly probably start talking to Lamar's agents yesterday, first of all. Like I don't know why you wouldn't have done it.
You don't think there have been any conversations yet?
None leaked, and I think, and I know it could be just like, we'll just both sides will keep it hush hush. But I feel like from Lamar's standpoint, from his camp, that would be something you'd want to leak to drive your price
and
up
plus,
around the league.
It's New York. Nothing ever stays hush hush in New York.
No. Yeah. First of all, yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. Nothing ever stays hush hush in New York, and Lamar's side would have tons of motive for leaking it. Right? You leak it, you drive your price up around the league because you're showing other teams are showing interest. So it makes sense. Right. So you would probably hear something if they were. But instead, it's all Rodgers.
So now they would have to beat the price of whatever... No. Baltimore would have to beat the price of whatever the Jets would
theoretically say the Jets come in and they say, we'll give you 5 years, $200 million guaranteed. And Baltimore would have a chance to match or beat it. If they don't, though, the Jets would subsequently sign Lamar to that contract and give up 2 first-round picks. That I don't love.
That's tough.
That I don't love. I don't know.
So he could kind of screw Baltimore here. Like, a lot.
He could. But, I mean, if you're Baltimore, you get 2 firsts. Ton of cap space. I'm not saying I love it. I'm not being like, I'd love to depart with I'd love my MVP to just go out the door.
I mean, look, I like Tyler Huntley. He's good, but he's not Lamar.
No, but there's times to move off people and times to not. And if somebody's going to give him $200 million guaranteed and you're going to get 2 first-round picks, for me, that's time.
All right. We started talking about Aaron Rodgers.
He's a complete buffoon.
Yeah.
You go sit in the dark for 4 days, you don't have an answer? I mean, I have an idea on what he was doing a little bit, if you know what I mean. Come on. Like, let's be real. Are we serious right now?
What are you doing in a cabin in the woods for 4 days by yourself, man?
You know what he's doing. My man got bored. Like, come on. What are we doing? 4 days, you don't have an answer?
Yeah.
And he comes out on this podcast, this psychologist. Well, it's my life. If you don't like it, then stop listening. Like that. Shut up.
Then stop talking.
Shut up. Yeah, stop talking. Why are you plastering it on every podcast? You go on a weekly show every week, and then you complain when people talk about you. Well, I don't know. You just went on the top 5 podcast, top 3 sports podcasts in the world. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know how to solve that for you, dude.
I don't know how to solve that.
That's kind of on you.
That is on you, 100%. You're putting a billboard on your head.
Either way, him to the Jets, I feel like makes sense for the Jets. We talked about it a little bit. I think he's still the same prickly Rodgers, no matter where you put him.
Yeah,
he's in New York. No different than being in Green Bay.
No,
he's going to be the same. Season ends. What's happening with Aaron? Is he retiring? Because he talked about retiring like 17 times before we got to even week 4. So, there's a gray area there. Not sure.
I don't know. We'll see. That's all we got for segment number 2. Don't go anywhere.